everyone. What is up? Oh my gosh, I'm Rebecca Yuson, and I'm here with one of my besties, Alyssa Coleman, and we have some really important things to talk about today. You are all going to love it. But first, if you don't know Alyssa, I have to introduce her. We have been working together and been partners and running buddies for, has it been a year?
Almost a year now, right? Almost a year.
I think so. I mean, it feels like just yesterday that I met you and was introduced to you, but it has been so much fun getting to know you and working together and like killing it together, right?
Yes, likewise. I agree. Yes.
Yep, we've definitely. What?
I said it's been great ever since knowing you, Rebecca. Oh my gosh. I know this is about real estate, but just a little off the record moment. Rebecca is so helpful. When I first got into real estate, she really took the reins and just kind of guided me like, Alyssa, this is how you should do it. And if I give my, well, Rebecca, I feel a little nervous about doing this or going into this new, career. But Rebecca made it very easy, and she made me feel comfortable. So at times I do get a little nervous, but then I got to think back and say, I got to think back to the time, like, why did I even start real estate? And I want to thank Rebecca for that. So.
Oh, well, that is so sweet. And I mean, it goes both ways. I've learned so much from you. I wish I would have started in real estate at your age, but I had no idea what it could have do for me at that time. I was not as mature as you. So, but you teach me new things every day, and it doesn't matter what level you're at, you can learn from everyone in the business. So I really appreciate that. I know you.
Yeah, it's everything is. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I'm so grateful Well, let me tell you something. I learn the difference, right, between grateful and appreciation. And gratefulness is what happens before that thing actually happens.
Okay.
And then appreciation is when you already have it, right? Or it's already manifested, it's already within you. So I would like to say in this very moment, right, I am appreciative of you, for you, and I'm so grateful for what we have in store. So.
Oh, me too. Yeah, this is like a love fest right here.
It's all love.
It is. But this is what makes me tick. Like when you're working with people that get it and who have been through some messes, and it's like it changes people. Not everyone, because not everybody accepts that there's going to be tough times. But the people that appreciate that there were tough times and they've gone through them, and now they're better for it because they learned and they took it to heart. So, it's the best. I love it too. So Alyssa stopped over to my house yesterday, and it was such a surprise and a treat. And I wish we could have spent more time together because we started brainstorming on a bunch of things that we could do for our businesses. And Alyssa mentioned that she wanted to talk about cold calling and dialing those phone numbers because she's been doing it and she's been excelling at it. And she feels that it's important for her to share a message about what that takes, the mindset, the skill. Right. And she really wants to help out new and seasoned agents with her message. So, Alyssa, I want you to tell us, how long have you been dialing and making your cold calls?
As a real estate agent, this has been a year since I've been a real estate agent, and I've been dialing for a year. But before I was a real estate agent, I was a wholesaler. I still wholesale properties, but overall, I've been dialing for 22. So I start like 3 years, 19. So yeah, I've been dialing for 3 years. When I first started dialing, I was really nervous because I was told that I have this very young voice and people wouldn't take me serious, and I talk really fast, so people wouldn't understand what I'm saying, or they think it's they're getting duped or scammed. And going into that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how to conquer this. So I said, let's just see how this goes. So I used a system, a tool to dial sellers,
Okay.
prospects, and I just go. This is when I was 19, 20 years old. So I would just call in. I had like a basic script. I got it off of like not YouTube, Google somewhere. And let me tell you, I've been cursed at. People hung up the phone on me. They threatened me. Yeah, just called me all sorts of names. But it all changed when I got my first wholesale deal. And I was like, you know what? All that everything that has happened to me prior doesn't even matter, because look where I am now. Like, dialing works, cold calling works. Like, you need, and it's like, Rebecca, what do you say? It's like a numbers game, right? So,
yeah.
However many people you dial, you have like a greater maybe I'm not explaining this right. Chances, right, of getting somebody who needs to sell. Not who wants to sell, but who needs to sell. That's what that was my market.
So you're looking for needs to sell people right away.
Right away, ASAP. Would rather exchange equity, right, for time, for speed and convenience. So that was my focus. I really didn't want to bother with talk to people who just really wanted to sell, or who just wanted to hear an offer because they just wanted to get a free estimate of how much their home is. And I didn't want to focus too much of my time with those people. But when I first started, it was bad. And then I took a break, then got back into when I got my real estate license, and oh my gosh, it felt like I was a rookie again.
Yeah.
It felt like I was a rookie again, making simple mistakes, not listening, getting really emotional when people would curse me out, call me names, and I would just that would just shut me down. I would just stop the dialer.
Mm-hmm.
And it put me into a deep depression.
Ooh.
But then, what I would say, what brought me out, what lifted me out of it was, you need money. So
money is the motivating factor.
Yeah, I gotta get right. I have to take care of myself because I'm getting older. I need to make money to take care of myself. So I said, I don't care what it takes. I'm gonna dial. I don't care if it's 100, 200, 300, 400 people a day. I'm gonna do it. So a tip that I have for real estate agents, wholesalers,
listen up.
Before you make your dial, you need to, I start dialing in the morning time, right? So you just get it out the way.
Okay.
You start early, and then you hit it, and then get it out the way for the day. Also, tip number 2, watch something in the morning before you make dials, something motivational. Okay. Mm-hmm. It will just put you in the right frame of mind. You're relaxed. You're not overwhelmed. Because when you talk to these people, definitely people who need to sell. They're already overwhelmed themselves. So if you're overwhelmed and anxious, how are you adding value? Because they need somebody who's going to de-escalate or de-stress their situation. They need help, and you are the problem solver. So you don't need to go in there nervous or stressed, because people can pick up on that and can read it. And that's how people can determine that, are you able to help me solve this problem? So you need to wake up, you need to watch something motivational. And while you're making dials, tip number 3, do not go on social media. Do not go on social media.
Time suck.
And I say that, Rebecca, I say that because you've already watched your motivational videos. You've already listened to a podcast. So when you're making the dials, you're on Instagram, you're seeing these people pop up who are not as motivational, or people that are right now who are at at another level than you are, or at a higher level than you are. And it makes you kind of feel like, you're in competition with somebody else.
Ooh.
And that can mess with self-esteem. Like, damn, I'm looking at this person, like, for instance, for example, I was on social media making calls, and I was looking at a realtor, and she's doing great, and she's doing better than me. And I'm looking at her like, I want to be just like her. I want to do better than she is. And that just, you don't need to have that train of focus or train of mind, because it just takes you off target. You send these endorphins or all these chemicals to your head, and it just throws you off, and then it goes on the call. And then you're not doing what you're supposed to do on the call. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, take breaks. It is because you start early, and you're making calls throughout the day, like from 10:30 to 4:30. Like that's just sitting, because everybody's not picking up the phone. So you're just
a lot of calling.
It's a lot of calling. So I would say every hour and a half, take a break. Take a 15-minute break. When you're on break, still do not look at social media. It's not a social media break. This is a mind break. Okay, so go. You need to recharge. You eat, stretch.
Ooh, yeah.
Get the blood energy flowing back again. So when you get ready to go back, you're on the ball. So those are the 4 tips that I have when you make cold calls, when you're making cold calls, because people can be rude, and people can be very defensive, and now want to give you all the information because they don't know you, right? And you have to be able to know how to have social awareness, how to break the ice, ask great questions, and ultimately be the problem solver. How can I be of assistance to you? How can I add value? If I was able to buy your house or sell your house, how would this make you feel?
Yeah, those are such good tips, Alyssa. And I totally agree. Like, your mindset is everything, because you have to believe in yourself, for one. And if you don't believe in yourself, you better call someone that does believe in you, so that you can work off what they believe about you until you believe in yourself, right? And then if your mindset isn't right, if your mindset isn't thinking, how can I help these people that I talked to today? Even though it's a numbers game and you've got to get through your numbers, your mindset has to be right in saying, I can help these people. Let me show them how. They're gonna see that through the phone if you're coming through as a helper, as their savior, because they're going through a tough time. They are not gonna believe you, for one, because who wants to be cold called? Nobody. But so you have to be ready with your quick words, and you have to know exactly what to say. What is your script? How are you going to keep them on the phone to continue to communicate? I'm here for you only, not for me, but for you, to get you out of this. Like, that is a skill that you practice.
It takes lots of practice. That's why you got to make all these dials. You got to talk to all these people because it's repetition. It's the mother of all things.
Yep.
If you want to get better, you just got to practice. Like, it's not easy, but it's simple.
Yep.
Like,
that's exactly it. It is not easy, but it is simple because you have to do it.
Just do it. It's not. And the one thing that I did struggle with was with learning the script.
Yeah.
Because not everybody gives you the same response, and you have to tailor it based on the conversation. And how I've always learned, and I had to reprogram my mind. How I used to learn was, okay, you give me this script, and I just go based off of that. I was very practical, right? And and I quickly, I wouldn't say quickly, but over time, I learned that, you know what, everybody's not going to respond the same way. Everybody doesn't have the same problems. However, it all kind of goes in one bucket. Like, they all fall in one bucket. They all are a part of this 10% that needs help. Okay, so in that 10%, you got to come in and be the problem solver. For whatever the problem is.
Yeah.
Probate reasons. I mean, the person inherited the property and they don't want the property anymore. It's like, how can you add value? And it took time. It did take time for me to learn and tailor it to how I like it. And I've learned people, when you make cold calls, when I say, hey, this is Alyssa with the XP, or this is Alyssa, I'm calling to speak with the homeowner. They have, I believe it's 4 or 5 responses, 6 responses, 5 or 6 responses. And they are, who are you? What do you want? How did you get my number? What's your offer? When can this get done? And the last one is, it's gonna come to me. So, but when it comes to me though, I'm gonna say it. But people, that's what I've learned. Like, people, when you make cold calls, they have those responses, and I had to figure out, okay, how can I respond to those responses? Okay, what's your offer? You were there, Rebecca, when somebody said that.
Yeah.
We were making phone calls.
Yep.
And Rebecca was right there, and a seller asked, well, what's your offer? Out of the gate. Well, what's your offer? I said, well, I can make you an offer. He said, well, then what's your offer? My response was, well, sir, I do plan on giving you a large amount of money in a short period of time. I just need to ask you some questions about the property. That way I can make you the best offer possible. Shut them down.
I was so impressed with that answer. I was like, a large sum of money? I'm hanging out with this girl with large sums of money. Yes.
in large sum of money, or they say,
which it is. I mean, even $50,000 is a large sum of money. So you're right there. That's truth.
I need to know what the property's condition is like and what's your situation, so I can add value, or I just need to know the condition, because I am about to give you a large sum of money. Before I put my money into this investment, I need to know the risk.
Yeah.
A plus B equals C. So it kind of shuts them down. The one was like, how did you get my phone number? They love asking that question. And I say, you know what? To be honest, Mrs. or Mrs. Seller, I don't work in the marketing department, but those guys get those numbers from tax records, public records. But let me ask you this. Have you thought about selling or even considered it?
You deflect.
I deflect, and I come back and ask them, yeah, right? And I ask another question, right? So I just keep the conversation going, prolonging it as long as I can until I can get the substance I need.
Yeah.
But cold calling, like, it shouldn't. Now, cold calling, like, if it goes over 10 minutes, that's a good conversation. That's a great
like the gentleman you were talking about, like I felt like he didn't want to talk to you, but then he just kept going and I couldn't hear what he was saying, but he just kept talking really fast. And you were like, sir, I don't think I'm going to be a good fit. But then he didn't want to let you go. He just kept going. So that was so interesting.
It was because he was adamant that he didn't want to put his house back on the market, and I already let him know that I was an investor and I was a real estate agent. So I already know like the real estate agent part, listing it was dead, right? I wasn't gonna be able to list it, so I was gonna probably buy it and resell it. But he said that it's already renovated, everything is good to go, it's ready for a conventional home buyer. And I said, well, yeah, that's why I said I don't think we're gonna be a great fit. But he just kept talking because I made him so comfortable. I asked the right questions so that he can keep talking. Or when I was ready to get off the phone, he wanted to keep talking to me because he knew he had somebody on the phone who was actually who was competent and who was competent and confident.
Yeah, and I noticed you kept doing the takeaway close. You kept saying, sir, I would love to help you, but I just don't think that I'm a good fit for you. I don't think that this would be the right thing for you. And he couldn't leave you alone after you kept saying that. It was great because we know you could help him. No matter what, you have a solution to sell that home. So it was the best. It was so fun.
It was a great conversation. Too bad he didn't want it listed, because he said he just wanted a buyer. He didn't want to pay the real estate fees and commissions and the closing costs. Or the closing costs. I said, look, I don't really want to force. I don't know. I'm here to add value, right? And I'm not here to impose my beliefs on you or my ideas on what you should do. All I am here to give you the information, serve, and repeat. So if you don't want it, that's why I said, sir, good luck on your search. The best of luck to you, and just hung it up.
And that was that.
Yeah. That was that. But I've had bad calls too.
Can you think of your worst call that just made you say, I'm done? Is there one that sticks out?
Rebecca, it was like, this one wasn't bad. It was just creepy. So I called a gentleman. He lives, or his property is in Fort Pierce. And I asked him the questions like, would you consider an offer for your property? And he asked me, was I in the market or not in the market? He said, was I wanting to buy adult novelty toys?
What?
Like vibrators, like nipple rings and stuff like that. And I was like, excuse me. And my first thought, I was really taken back. And I had to regroup and like, excuse me? Like really, I caught an attitude for real. Like, excuse me? I don't know if that was his real business and he actually does that, but.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, excuse me? And then he repeated it and then I just hung up the phone.
Oh.
Cause weirdos, I didn't want to deal with that.
That's a little awkward. Like you're not going to go run into his house unless you have a running buddy with you. Or bodyguard.
A bodyguard. Even that, girl.
Yeah, you have to know when to say when. You have to listen to your gut instinct and follow it. And you did, it sounds like.
And it was, this is when I started cold calling again. This is when I was very emotional during that time, and I was in a deep, dark place. Cold called a gentleman. I don't remember where the house is. Probably like Port St. Lucie. But he said his house is in pre foreclosure.
Okay.
And I let him know like what I could do for him.
Okay.
But he said, do you think I need that effing money? What do you take this for? Or you think I'm broke? You're a fucking bitch, and I want you arrested for making this call. I said, well, sir, this is when I was in my emotional state. I really was probably rambling on the phone, and it probably went longer than it was supposed to, and I was taking that heat.
Yeah.
Alyssa now knows, like, when they start acting like that, you gotta go like this. But back then, I was just taking it and taking it and taking it. And all those blows to the heart and to the mind, like, it really affected me. So it's just funny to look back and see how far I've come.
Yeah. I mean, in such a short period of time. Like, I remember you and I having a conversation. It was just like a month and a half or 2 months ago, and you were kind of at the end of your rope, and somebody reached out to you and gave you a little shake and said, stop this. And everything since then has been completely different for you. It's amazing. I'm so happy.
And it's like sometimes I need the tough love, because I am a Capricorn. Not that zodiac signs matter, but I am a true Capricorn, and I am very sensitive. Okay, so when that person said those endearing words to me as, Alyssa, you need to do better because I know you can do better, and all this shit that this pity party, I'm not coming to it no more. So you gotta shape up. Basically, like, the pity party has to end, and I'm not coming to the pity party anymore. Basically, that's how they said it.
I love that person.
So, like, I was like, damn, like, am I really throwing pity parties out here? Like, damn, like, I don't want anybody coming to my pity party. I just need to cancel it. And
you did.
Shift.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck it, here we go again. Like, let's just get on these calls and just bang them out, like, for real.
And it's been working. You've been having success with your transactions, and you have some really exciting things coming. Like, you set some big goals for the year, and you're hitting them.
Yes.
So awesome.
I am looking forward to getting my first listing. I want to get it by June, by this month.
Okay.
But I've really been thriving in my wholesale path, and my goals, they're smart, they're achievable, right? What that person said to me, I just knew, like, I had to set better goals, and I gotta shape up. You stop crying, just do it. Like, stop crying about it. Stop crying to other people about it, because the truth of the matter is, nobody really cares.
Well, I care, but you're right. I mean, nobody does care.
No.
But people do love to see you struggling, because then they don't have to worry about you beating them. So it was just sad. There's family and friends that love to watch the struggle. It's like the crabs in the bucket thing. Like, when you put the crabs in the bucket, they hold each other back from getting out. And, people don't like to see you succeed, which is crazy. So you have to be so careful who is in your inner circle and who you're letting get in your brain.
Yes.
They'll keep pulling you back. And you're recognizing at such a young age who you actually can go to protect your brain.
Yes. And I had to, that's you said an amazing thing. I had to rearrange my energy, my circle, because the circle I was in was not applying pressure. And I was, that circle was not applying pressure. And I wasn't growing in that circle, basically what I mean. And I just had to I didn't find new friends, but I just started, talking to them less, hanging out with them less. Because honestly, Rebecca, the people, like, how do I say this? The company you keep is a reflection of how you care about, how much you love about yourself. So if I allow this person to just, say all these things, negative things, not about me, but just overall, like just negative Nancy's.
Yeah.
I love myself too much to just sit around and listen to that. I love me. I choose me over you. I'm sorry to say that, but like I choose me in my peace, in my path over yours. I'm sorry to say that, but this is my life, and that's just the way it is. I had to tell my parents that too because. No, I love them. No, I love them.
Of course you do. They're the best. They're the best.
They are the best.
Your parents are so giving and they love you and adore you.
Yes.
They do.
Thank you. But I had to tell them, Mom, Dad, like this is my life, and I appreciate all the help that you've done for me. But I got to get it on my own. I know you guys are so quick. Like, Alyssa, like, if you need me, I'm here for you. If you need, I got you, right? But I can't always accept the help because I just know myself, and I know I'm gonna just go revert back into that nature of. So I limit that access they have to me. That sorry.
Alyssa, you are wise beyond your years. And I'm so excited that I'm on this ride with you. You're not going to have to do all these little things forever. Like, I think you have embraced, this is just a temporary thing that I have to do to get to the next level. Mm-hmm. So I loved watching this happen and unfold. It's just inspiring. For sure.
It is inspiring.
Yes.
And over time, let me tell you something, Rebecca, like, I used to be this has gone so off topic. but like, for real, but people need to hear it, because as a realtor, you have to have confidence, you have to have high self-esteem, and be sophisticated in ways. But
of course.
But I used to really struggle with that. Self-esteem, confidence. And you could, like I said, you could hear it on the phone call.
Yep.
You really don't know if you feel like, or even if you do know in your heart what you're doing, but it's just not coming out how you want it to come out. It's over. Like, I'm sorry, like it's over. So you need to practice as much as you can. Day in and day out. Like right now, I didn't practice today, but I know for certain, like, I don't have my phone with me, but if I would show you my screensaver, it's called a screensaver. My screensaver, on my screensaver, there's a script. I keep the script always with me. So if I need, quick, like, oh my gosh, I can always reference, go back, right?
Yeah.
I'm always practicing, little or unconsciously. I'm always practicing because it's on the screensaver. I look at it all the time because I always have my phone. So, the best realtors are the ones who are confident in their abilities. And can simply solve problems.
I love it. Well said. Drop the mic.
Drop the mic, throw salt over your shoulders. Like it's all coming into fruition. It's coming for you. It's coming. So any realtor that's been struggling, just know Rebecca's been there. I've been going through the motions. And if you're just starting out, I don't know how you really avoid it, because you're gonna have to pick up the phone and talk to people if you want your business to thrive.
Yep.
But just go out and do it. Practice and do it.
Amen.
Yes.
Alyssa, I love you. Thank you so much for dropping so much wisdom on us. This is going to change lives and help all these realtors make their dream business come true.
Hopefully that they can take this information. Now, I'm always here to serve and add value, but what you do with this information is on you.
Ooh. Right.
Yeah, right. It is on you. How you want it.
All right. With that, this is Rebecca Yusan and Alyssa Coleman. We are making our real estate dreams come true, and you should too. Until next time. Bye.
Bye. Adios. Bienvenidos.